Welcome to Battle of the Blockchains, the first ever community-driven crypto competition. In this episode, we have a star-studded matchup between TEZOS and GALA Games. Now, if you are new here, how this works is we will compare these two chains across 5 criteria. 1. Community engagement. 2. Unique innovations. 3. Performance. 4. Accessibility. And 5. Adoption potential. My job is to rate each chain across these categories, and at the end of every video, it is up to you to decide the winner. The coin with the most votes in the comments will advance to the next round. Let's get right to it. In 2014, Arthur Brightman wrote the original white paper for TEZOS. However, it would be another 4 years before the chain itself would launch. During this time, Arthur and his wife Kathleen founded Dynamic Ledger Solutions. This is where the TEZOS code would be developed. The Brightmans have an extensive background in finance. Prior to creating TEZOS, Arthur worked as an associate for Goldman Sachs and a vice president for Morgan Stanley. Now, the TEZOS blockchain is used for multiple use cases, from DeFi, NFTs, to stablecoins, and even central bank digital currencies. GALA Games was created in 2019 by the co-founder of mobile gaming developer Zynga. Eric Schreimer and a crew of other gaming industry veterans came together to create a gaming-first blockchain. Since its inception, GALA has published several titles from top-tier companies in the space. Additionally, they've also expanded into the fields of music and film. The origins of these two chains couldn't be more different, yet they appear to be on the same trajectory. So how do they compare on our scale? Round 1 is community. As of April 2023, there are 4.2 million active accounts on TEZOS. For GALA, they proclaim to have 1.3 million monthly users, but according to Etherscan, there are only 220,000 GALA token holders. In Q1, TEZOS had 4.8 billion social media engagements, while GALA Games accumulated 532 million. Now, due to the fact that 1.3 monthly users doesn't necessarily account for token holders, I think it's safe to give this round to TEZOS. Round 2, performance. This is when we look at all-time high, ROI, peak transaction volume, and transaction speed. GALA's all-time high is 83 cents, which happened at the peak of the last bull run in November of 2021. Its ROI is 2,700% with a peak transaction volume of 18.4 billion in November of 2021. The transaction speed for GALA was a bit difficult to determine, but records show that typical withdrawal times are anywhere from 4 to 8 hours. Another thing to consider is that GALA is an ERC20 token, and its speed is most likely contingent upon the speed of Ethereum at the time of a transaction. For TEZOS, it reached its all-time high in October of 2021, $9.09. However, their ROI is only 137%, one of the lowest we've seen so far in the competition. The peak transaction volume for TEZOS was 5.5 billion in September of 2021, and for transaction speed, it currently sits at 170 transactions per second, but a coming upgrade is set to increase that number tremendously. So in this round, we actually have a draw. GALA winning in the peak transaction volume and ROI, and TEZOS winning in the transaction speed and all-time high categories. This brings our score to TEZOS 2, GALA 1. TEZOS is often considered the most upgradable blockchain in the industry. This is because of its ability to self-amend. The TEZOS blockchain has the ability to alter its own code to meet various needs. Coming up on the upgrade schedule is the Mumbai upgrade. This is set to bring a number of advancements, including the ability to process up to 1 million transactions per second. In theory, for GALA, they are really changing the way in-game NFTs are created and managed. The technical partnership they have with OpenSea really allows them to engage with the top NFT brands on the market. Outside of NFTs, a lot of AAA gaming companies are now starting to pay attention to GALA. In summer of 2022, Will Wright became a member of the team and is developing a metaverse for GALA Games. Will Wright is the creator of Sims, if you haven't recognized that name. In addition to that, we have Project Gyri, which is the layer 1 blockchain solution that GALA is developing. This would be an all-in-one solution for Web3 gaming. Combining all of this with the growing GALA music scene and GALA films, it's safe to say innovation is definitely there. With that, I think we can give the green check mark to both chains, bringing our score after 3 rounds to TEZOS 3, GALA 2. TEZOS is listed on multiple top-tier exchanges and has several native wallets which people can trade and use the coin. Another important avenue is having Tether natively minted on TEZOS. We also have a number of stablecoins and DeFi protocols available. For GALA, they have a few top-tier listings, but the majority of GALA token holders exist on decentralized exchanges and native Ethereum wallets. One thing I must add here is that both chains have a form of governance that require the buying of nodes in the case for GALA and baking or staking for TEZOS. This was a close one to me, but I think because TEZOS is present on more top-tier exchanges, we can give the green mark to XTZ. Going into the final round, that means our score is now TEZOS 4, GALA 2. In the case for GALA, I think they will be seen as a first mover when it comes to Web3 game development. The only downside is that we may be a bit too early to the party when it comes to that niche. The list of industry veterans working with GALA also tips the scale in their favor, but what has stood out to me is the list of blockchain partners they are building: Flare Network, Polygon, BitTrue, and most recently, Huobi. They also sponsor a gaming content team in the form of Mazzer Gaming. The potential is strong for sure, as long as gaming continues to thrive. In the case of TEZOS, they have turned their focus more towards the art and music scene. Last year, their NFT platform OneOf sponsored and provided NFTs for the Grammys. They also have landed branding deals with Major League Soccer team Manchester United and the professional racing team McLaren Motorsports. But one thing that we must keep in mind is that TEZOS is a universal blockchain that can be tailored to almost anything. There are multiple situations where governments are using TEZOS for municipal use cases. For example, the California DMV has now started using TEZOS as an alternative to processing documents on the blockchain. So when it comes to adoption potential, I think TEZOS is a bit more entrenched into society with its technology. That brings our final score to TEZOS 5, GALA Games 2. And our winner is TEZOS. At least on the scoreboard. In this competition, it is all up to you. The chain with the most votes in the comments will advance to the next round to face the winner of the Render versus Theta Network matchup. But that's all for this one. As always, if that money is digital, so is the hustle. I'm Wade Teamer, and I'll see you in the next battle.